Hello, this is Richard Jacobs from Speakeasy Marketing, and I wanted to talk about the state of the union, or the state of marketing in 2016, because here we go, 2016 is here. Never thought it would be like this. I remember in the year 2000, I turned 25 years old, and maybe to you listening, you were far older than that, maybe the same age, but I couldn't even imagine when I was little, what's it going to be like in the year 2000? Wow. And then in the year 2000 came, I thought, wow, what's it going to be like in 2015? It's going to be amazing. Well, here we are in 2016. Things are amazing, and yet they're not. So let's talk about marketing for law firms and what is amazing, what's not amazing, and what's it take to be successful. So I've spoken about this when I've spoken at several conferences, the PILMA conference last year, the Personal Injury Litigation Marketing Conference, and also at NACDL, Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. I'm going to be speaking about this again when I speak in January at the DUID LA conference in Arizona. So here's what the story is. People today are fragmented. Your audience, your potential clients, they're fragmented. What does this mean? This means that unlike many years ago, where there was really just newspaper, maybe radio, TV, there weren't tons of channels, there weren't tons of ways for people to get information, people would tend to read all the same articles, watch all the same shows, and they were in huge clusters. They would listen to the same music, etc. Nowadays, with the internet, and especially with smartphones and on-demand everything, people have become very fragmented. I may use a certain app to chat with people, and my wife uses WhatsApp. It's a different app to chat with people that she knows. I don't use Facebook very much. My wife uses it all the time. I look on YouTube a lot for instructional videos, and so do my kids. They look at it every day for hours a day, learning stuff. Some people may never use YouTube. I use Google search. I've seen many people use Yahoo search or Bing search or Yelp. We started using Yelp a lot for when we look at restaurants to go to or for services because of the reviews. I use Amazon to buy many of the things that we have in our house, and I bet you do too. So look at all these channels that we're using as a family. So if we had a legal issue, wouldn't you want to show up on Yelp, on YouTube, on Amazon, on Google, on Facebook, on chat apps? I mean, wouldn't you want to show up everywhere? You notice I didn't say TV. I don't watch TV barely at all. My wife watches it some, but every single show is recorded. She watches zero live TV. Music, books. I use Audible to listen to books, or I'll use Kindle or Amazon. So if we're like this, chances are many people in the United States that you'd market to are like this. So you want to be in front of them in as many places as possible in order for them to pick you. Not everyone uses a Google search to find a lawyer or asks a friend. People use many, many, many different ways to find attorneys nowadays. An amazing statistic I saw recently is that 84% of people use the internet to look up attorneys before they call them. But what is the internet? It could be Google, Yelp, Avo, YouTube, Facebook, 80 million different places. So what's the solution? Is the solution to go crazy and try to have ads everywhere? No, because that's not possible, and it'll make you go broke. But the solution certainly is not to focus on just one channel, assuming that everyone will be there. It's not to focus on two channels or even three. It's to focus on maybe three or more channels and build up more channels as time goes on so you do become omnipresent. Then don't just throw money at different things, assuming, okay, I'm doing 6 different things, it's going to work. You got to build them up, test them, make sure they work, etc. For instance, Facebook works very well for me to find new attorneys for my business as clients, but I haven't found it to work very well for attorneys to get clients for their business. And this also depends on practice area. So these are things you have to consider. But in 2016, if you want to make it, Your marketing has to be diversified. It can't just be one thing. Now, here's another problem with diversification. The pockets of audiences are smaller by necessity because they're being chopped up into smaller and smaller and multiple fragments. So you're not going to get as much bang for the buck from any one channel. So that's another reason you have to do several of them. So, for instance, with my clients, we may do live chat, and that gets them a couple leads from the website. We'll do SEO. Maybe they get 5-6 more leads that month from that. We'll do direct mail. That gets them some. We'll do Facebook. Maybe they get them one. A newsletter to past clients gets them a couple more. All these things add up to make a really successful law firm. And I know it's frustrating, and I know it's annoying, and there's a lot to know. Trust me, it's a full-time profession of mine and of many people to be a marketer online. There's a lot to know. But you've got to embrace it. You've got to do it. If you shy away from it, you just try to have one channel. It's like one leg to stand on. If that leg gets kicked out, if Google is your only outlet, you have a website, and Google changes its algorithm, you could lose everything. It's happened. It's happened to hundreds of thousands of websites, including well over 100,000 attorneys. I haven't talked to them all, but I've talked to many. There's some that only do Facebook. I did Facebook. We had our account shut down for no reason at all. It took 3 months to get it back up. We weren't even doing anything wrong. They just decided, we're violating some term of service, and they shut us down. Email, that can get cut off. Direct mail, the state bar can rule it out. I mean, anything can change. So you've absolutely got to have a diversified approach to marketing in 2016 and beyond. That's the name of the game nowadays. And I understand it's frustrating, and you're a lawyer, you don't want to know about marketing, you just want it done for you, but you've got to be at least receptive to learning about it a bit, just a bit, and to finding good vendors that will help do it for you, do this marketing for you and get you clients. Because if you don't, and you just want to practice law, and you're thinking like it's still 1990 or 1980, no matter how good you are as an attorney, you're likely to end up a lot poorer and more frustrated and unhappy compared to those young whippersnappers that are up on technology, that are all over the place online and marketing like crazy and getting all the cases that you should be getting instead after practicing for 20, 30, 40 years. So I hope you take this to heart, but this is what's going on. I'll give you one more piece of news. So mobile traffic versus desktop traffic. Last year, it was about 25% of all visitors to my attorney-client sites were from mobile. This year, I watched it jump to 60%. Next year, it's going to go up to 70, 75, maybe even 80%. Mobile's huge. But even look at mobile. What device are you using to look at your website? Is someone using an iPad or a Galaxy tablet or an Android or an iPhone or a BlackBerry or a laptop or a desktop or an Amazon Kindle? I mean, who knows? It could be anything. Multiple different size screens, etc. So, I mean, look at your website alone. It can be viewed many, many different ways. Look at the browsers. Someone could be using Safari or Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, Opera. I mean, there's many, many browsers, many screen sizes, etc. So everything, unfortunately, is becoming fragmented. There's a lot more things to keep your finger on to make sure things are working, but that's how it goes. So it's adapt or perish. And I hope that this helps you and doesn't make you fearful, because there are ways to succeed. You just have to have this different mindset in 2016 and beyond. If you want help with marketing, because it's become so crazy, it does require a specialist. That's what we do. And we specialize in attorneys and small firms. Go to speakeasymarketinginc.com, call 888-225-8594, or email rj@speakeasymarketinginc.com, Inc. being INC. Take care, and I hope this helps you. I wish you a very good 2016.